You're listening to the Whip Appeal Show hosted by MistressCandy69 from the BDSM Alive Radio Network. Well, hello, everyone. I am live on the BDSM Alive Radio Network tonight, and you are listening live to the Whip Appeal Show by MistressCandy69. Yes, I have been extremely busy, have had a lot of personal life stuff going on, so I wasn't really on for a bit. Plus, I was on vacation first for, I think, about 9 or 10 days with my boyfriend. Then, holiday, of course, Christmas is coming up, and had a lot of birthdays, too. A lot of Mistress's birthday. Mistress's boyfriend turned 27 last week. So I had a lot of birthday stuff going on with him and his family, and kind of awesome, actually. I got him a really awesome leather jacket and a prong shirt for his birthday, and he was completely enamored and very happy about it, which was cool. And let's see, I've been doing a lot of other stuff, working a lot, of course, hanging out with my boyfriend and working a lot and visiting family and friends. Busy for this time of year for Mistress. But on the bright note, next Friday, I will not be on. Mistress and a bunch of friends are going to Dingbats in Clifton, New Jersey to see That Metal Show with Don Jameson, Jim Florentine, and Eddie Trunk. So, Mistress will not be doing a show live next week. Phone lines are open tonight for anybody that wants to call in. It is 516-406-3512 is the phone number to call into tonight's show live to speak with yours truly, and maybe we can do a little bit of a question and answer tonight. Sorry, I'm taking a sip of some nice hot coffee. A question and answer. I was going to go through my Instagram emails tonight to see about all you wonderful and annoying submissives who like to message Mistress about your kinks and fetishes. Okay, so tonight's show is going to be kind of interesting. We're going to talk about Christmas. We're going to talk about the holidays. Maybe we'll have some callers call in. I know one of my fans, Randy, said that he, excuse me, he was going to be either calling in or listening or both, because Randy's been a longtime fan of Mistress Candy for, I don't know, about, I want to say a good 10 or 12 years now, and he likes to follow me and do whatever I do and tell him to do, so I think he earns a gold star in Mistress's book. Excuse me, I'm like choking to death on my coffee tonight. I'm actually looking for a lighter. I really got this really cool blue cones to smoke my marijuana out of, and I really got this awesome clip to like hold them in, so I've been using that quite a bit. It's like an anodized stainless steel, and it's these little hands, so it's pretty cool. And, okay, my roommate was just texting me, so I can't answer that right now. So, anyway. I was just reading something my roommate sent me. It was kind of funny. We're having a weed war over here, which is absolutely hilarious. So I've heard from people on social media that they missed Mistress the past couple of weeks. Yeah, I've been a little busy. Sorry about that. Like I said, I went on vacation to Maine for 10 days with my boyfriend and his family. Ooh, my goodness, where'd that go? I almost burned myself just now, by the way. And I've been doing a lot of, different things. I've been planning to possibly take a little time off in January to prepare for a new season of season 2 of the Whip Appeal Show by Mistress Candy. Season 1 was really from March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 9 months. Because, I recently only started going back to doing shows about 9 months ago. And of course my solo show, so it's even cooler. Hold on, Mistress is having a serious problem lighting this marijuana to smoke. It's like not lighting. I don't know why. I'm not having any luck puffing out of it. I think my clip is too tight, so let's see. I don't know, this weed is a little annoying is more like it. I get it from a different guy now, and honestly it's a little bit more brittle, I think. I mean, it's high's pretty good, but sometimes it doesn't want to stay fucking lit. It keeps going out. It's annoying. The problems that pot smokers have, let me tell you. So, I'm hoping that I get a bunch of good callers that call into the show. But anyway, season 2 is probably going to start like mid-January. So I'm thinking maybe third week of January. So I may do a recorded show for next coming week. Because actually, New Year's Eve weekend, I'm not sure if I'm going to be on or not. Because I have my stuff in a storage facility in Coram. And I'm actually going to be emptying out my storage unit and not keeping the unit any longer. So I'm going to be bringing my belongings to where I live in Nassau County. So the only reason I would need to go out to Suffolk would be to either see a friend or go to the doctor. I would have no reason to go to storage or anything like that out there. So that's going to be happening the weekend of, the weekend of New Year's Eve. So I'm not sure if I am going to do a show or not. I may, depending on, if I have time or whatnot. So I'll try to do either a recorded show for the week after this week when I'm going to be at that metal show with some friends in Jersey. And then the following week it's New Year's. So I'm going to see if I have time to do a show. If not, you people will be stuck with a recorded show until I actually do the show again, which I think that I'm just going to be playing it by ear, or though this could be the last live show you get from me, and then you won't get any new ones until the second season. And I was thinking about taking a good couple of weeks off in January just to kind of decompress and kind of relax and see how much you submissives really miss Mistress, because I will be working again on my phone sex sites, which will be on Night Flirt and Talk to Me, and I'm hoping tonight at some point I can go on my cam site again, because I am on cammodels.com /MistressCandy69. I do BDSM one-on-one private sessions on cam, which means I will direct you boys and girls of what I want you to do for me while you pay me per minute, which is kind of cool. So I've been doing that off and on for a while. I kind of want to go back into it. I was kind of really busy working a lot now, so when I have time I try to go onto my sites and keep my submissives kind of happy, or my customers happy. So it is Christmas time, and a lot of fellas do like to talk on the lines, of course. I was actually working on Talk to Me this morning. I made, some money talking to, of course, a bunch of sissy guys that want to be transformed into cocksucking sluts. I mean, it just seems that everywhere I turn, there are guys that want to wear panties and dress like women and suck dick. Why is that? How come I can't seem to get away from that craziness? It just seems to follow me around everywhere. Even though I tell people I'm not really into it. But, a lot of people are. So for phone sex-wise, I guess it's not a bad thing. But when it comes to real life, I don't want to deal with any more cross-dressers or sissies. I'm just kind of done with them. Like, they all top from the bottom. They're all disturbed individuals, and I find myself, I cannot relate to people in such a realm anymore. Phone sex is one thing, but real life appointments, no way, I can't do it. it's just, I can't. You know, it's too much for me with having to deal with what I had to deal with what's-his-face. And then having another sniveling, cock-sucking sissy slut bothering me about it. No, thank you. So that's kind of how I feel about that. I mean, I just might as well just put it all out there. I'm done with cross-dressers. Like, dead seriously. Done. Excuse me. And it pretty much rained all day here in Long Island, New York. And it was pretty chilly, and so I didn't leave the house that's a lie. I did leave the house once to go buy some Christmas wrapping paper and some gift bag thingies, because I have some stuff like to do at work this week. And, you know, I wanted to get that taken care of because I have my office holiday party on Wednesday. So I had to get like a gift bag for that, and then I said, oh, you know, while I'm there, I'll get gift bags for everything else too. So this way I don't have to run around as much the week after. And other than that, I mean, this year I have a little teeny Christmas tree. All of my big trees and stuff that I had in the house and the apartments prior is all in a storage unit, which I'm actually going to be emptying out at the end of the month. So for this Christmas in my little apartment, I have a 12-inch Christmas tree with blue and white lights on it with little drums and bows on it, which is really cute. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to like it, but it looks really cute, like in the corner of my room over there. And it's, you know, festive, just for me. Like, you know, like I was talking to some family members and they're like, why would you even bother putting up a little tree like that? I said, well, you know, I like to put up the tree. I like to decorate the house for the holidays. But this year, where I'm living with a group of friends, they're all humbugs, and I don't like to have holiday stuff up. So the house is pretty plain Jane. So the only festive shit I got is in my room, which is kind of interesting. Thank God my boyfriend's family has a beautiful tree up, and the house is all decorated for Christmas. I like to see that's something that like makes me feel really cool, like good. That I get to witness that all over again, the joys of Christmas even as an adult. So, but on that note, when me and my friends go to that Christmas show, that metal show, the Christmas one, this coming Friday, not today, the following Friday, December 23rd, I'm going to be wearing a red burgundy crushed velvet dress with white boots, as kinky as I can get for Christmas, still maintaining my mistress aura, but it's going to be cold, and I want to kind of enjoy myself, and Don Jameson knows Mistress Candy to wear red Christmas dresses, and oh my goodness, I think I'm getting a phone call. Hold on a minute. Hello, Daisy. Do you know that Mistress Candy is doing her show live tonight, and you just called it on the radio show?
I saw you just post. That's what made me think, God, I gotta contact her.
Oh, you're gonna call in because I'm doing my radio show right now.
I'm chicken.
Well, listen, you can at least tell the world how you met me.
Well, yeah, I agree. Well, you are cool as can be. No, I'm bashful these days.
Are you bashful? Why? How bashful are you?
Just bashful because I haven't done anything for a while. Just kind of given up.
well, the thing is, okay, but listen to me. I know FetLife people a lot that appear to be scammers on there. So here is some advice that I'm going to give you as well as other people that are listening to the show. When looking for a dominatrix, you might want to see if she has a website. And if she's been around, it's safe to say you could Google them and find out if they've been around a while. Yes. And never give up. You just might find that actually you want to laugh, Daisy. I just said to my young boyfriend who turned 27 the other day, last week, he tells me he wants to bring the RV to Vegas and have a Vegas trip. And I said, well, actually, Mistress has a really good friend that lives in Vegas, and I would love to go see him at the same time. So I don't know when he's planning this trip, but It'd be pretty cool to, I mean, can you drive to Las Vegas? Is that a dumb question? Could you?
But for you, it's just too far. I mean, that's like I'm going to Chicago, and I'm going to take it from Utah to Chicago, and that's 1,400 miles.
That's driving?
Yeah, that's driving one way. I mean, you drive there and back. It's like a 4-day trip, and that's 10 hours a day.
Wow, I mean, are you going to pick up some more cars?
Yeah, I'm delivering a car, and then I fly home.
Oh, what kind of car are you delivering this time?
Just a piece of shit Ford.
You're like, it's nothing good. Like, I had this other friend that did transporting, and he had this big trailer, and he went and transported like a couple of Lamborghinis and a what the hell was the other one? It was a pretty interesting car. There's only like a few, and they're pretty expensive. A Cobra, a Cobra car.
Ford Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra. And supposedly this Cobra was worth like a lot of money, and the guy was like, if anything happens to this car, you're dead. Like, it was, he had to like carry this car and the transport. It was like a long drive, and then he would do the same thing, and then he would like have someone transport his trailer back, and he would fly home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it was a lot, you know?
Yeah, Well, I mean, yes, it's fun, but no, you don't want to drive here. You guys want to fly here and fly home.
That's what I said. Because I mean, the last few times I went there, it was like a fucking 6.5 hour flight, number one. And then, like, I was getting antsy and had to, like, get up and, like, walk around. And you know what's funny? I was telling this boyfriend of mine. Now, mind you, my boyfriend knows I'm a dominatrix. Okay? He's pretty cool with it. He thinks it's pretty hot and sexy also. But the funny part of the story is I get to tell him some pretty cool stories about how I went to AVN in Vegas, hung out with you there, and Paula and a bunch of other people. But the funny part is when I went to Vegas and they opened my suitcase at the airport, okay? Now, remember I had those like 2 big suitcases, and I'm pretty sure you picked us up from the airport, and I was telling you the story about how they opened my bag and all they saw in there was whips, floggers, and some strap-ons. And they were completely like, yeah, I'm not going through this bag. And they like zipped it up and like pushed it out. So we got out of the airport pretty fast that day because they didn't really search my bags after that, right? So I was telling him this story and he was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Like, you know, so I said, so the next time we go to Vegas, I'm not going to be bringing any of that stuff, but I'm sure my friend has some stuff, so if I want to play with him like that there, I can. And he started laughing. Pretty funny, right?
Right. I mean, I don't know how people could, I mean, I could, I probably could take something through, but I had my buddy who took his chastity cage through, his metal chastity cage.
Oh, you know what? I did that once with Mum Man. He was locked in a mature metal chastity device, went through, and for some reason, he was able to get through. Now, some people, it actually stops and beeps, and they swipe you a million times, and you have to explain to them while you're wearing a chastity device.
Well, I think they just let him go because maybe they just could see the outline of it around his cock and balls, and they're like, nope, we're good. Not good.
Well, that's kind of like the funny stuff that you have to wonder when you have people like that are in chastity that are going through airports and shit of that nature. I mean, now I think they make a lot of silicone chastity devices.
Oh, yeah. What? Plastic.
What do you have? A CB6000, right?
Oh, I don't have that. It's this Chinese knockoff one, but it's like a gold pinkish one, and then the black.
Look, I've bought some of them from DHL because they're cheap, and you know some of them are really fucking expensive. And when you have like, you know, back in the day, I had 3 or 4 guys that were in chastity, like. You know, I don't expect them to buy the device. I bought it for them and locked it on them, and they couldn't jerk off. That was the prize.
Yep.
So that's like total fucking like control, like beyond control, like, you know. And then they have these other ones, these with these urethral plugs with the chastity device. Ooh, those are kind of like really sadistic.
I like it.
You would wear one of them, Daisy?
I guess I want to, but they're hard to wear. I'll admit that. I masturbate like 2 to 3 times a day.
Well, if I was going to put you in a chastity device, it would definitely not be metal, number one. Because, extra strenuous, like, pull on the cock and balls is not really a good thing. I'd get you properly sized for, like, a silicone one. Maybe instead of getting, like, black, I'd get you, like, pink or purple or something. Some kind of, like, faggoty color. And then, like, you'd have a key. But your key would be in, like, a 1-gallon jug of water in your freezer. Oh, you like that, right? This way, if you want out of it, you ask Mistress. Of course, I would grant it to you because you are a wonderful friend of mine and a good submissive. I've had the opportunity of having Daisy at service when I went to Vegas. Those times, right, Daisy? Yes, and Daisy was instructed by his prior mistress to pick up myself and my slave at the airport. So, and taxi us around. And my goodness, Daisy was the best submissive I have ever met in my life. Listen to this Mistress, even though he wasn't owned by her, correct?
Correct.
Daisy is extremely submissive. So anybody who is listening to my show tonight that wants an honor to play with Daisy, Daisy is located in Vegas, correct, Daisy?
Yes.
And you do travel around quite a bit when you're, like, picking up cars for work.
Yeah, here and there, yes.
So who knows? I have a lot of dames that listen to the show. Maybe somebody would want to play with you, Daisy.
Wow.
Oh, you never know.
You're so cool, but yes, I would like that.
I think you would like that. And look, you know what? Daisy and I played at AVN together, and oh, what a joy. Daisy even let me dress her up in some clothes. Remember you were wearing my corset?
Yeah, I remember that.
But you know what's interesting? Daisy is a fetish cross-dresser, correct?
Sure. I mean, not full-time, but yeah, I like it.
Right. Daisy only does it under the discretion or order of a mistress. Daisy does not parade around town dressed like a woman in his regular man life. So Daisy's what you call a fetish cross-dresser.
Okay. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, Daisy?
No, okay. I got it now, though.
Well, because think about it. You're not like so-and-so. You know who I'm talking about.
Yep,
where you're walking around all day long like that. And you're basically like a dude in your regular life. You don't want to like...
Totally. Yeah.
You're not interested in becoming, like, feminized outside of the mistress realm type stuff. So, and it's kind of interesting. A couple of months ago, I had somebody on Instagram ask me this very same question, and it's kind of good that I'm talking to you about it, because hopefully they're listening tonight, because they said they were going to listen. About being a fetish cross-dresser to a, like, transgendered cross-dresser. And what I mean by that, and I hate to use the word transgender, because most cross-dressers, like, the ones that you normally see, like, on Instagram, they're guys dressing as women, they're completely out there dressing as women in their regular life, except to work, unless it's acceptable where they work. They're what you call, like, transgendered because they want to be women. They're, like, putting themselves on hormones or whatever. But with you only dress as a woman as, like, for humiliation purposes and a little bit for your own exploratory stuff when you are with a mistress and it's done under, like, mistress submission type role-playing, correct?
That is correct, yep.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'm open to more, but I just don't have anybody to do it for her with. Like, if she wanted to actually go a little further and dress me up and take me out or involve us with other people, I would do things for her.
Oh, so yeah, but only under the mistress's tutelage or guidance. You wouldn't go and do this run off by yourself. You're like, fuck no.
No, it's with time that we could work towards that. But yeah, I
mean, you're hilarious.
I'm pretty open-minded.
No, but it's funny though, because like, you know, but a lot of people ask like, oh, what am I considered? Then somebody asked me if they thought they were gay. And I said, well, that depends. Do you think you're gay? Do you not look at women? Do you dress like a woman and want to be fucked like a woman by a man because you think that's... I mean, I don't know. I have all these questions for them, too, when they call and ask me questions. So it's kind of interesting to get into the psyche of a fetish cross-dresser who does it for sexual gratification, whether it's, you know, mind control sexual gratification or some sort of sexual gratification to realize that they like something when they're under the discretion or tutelage of a mistress or under the orders of a mistress, rather than being in their regular life not wanting to dress like a woman. That's a fetish cross-dresser. There's another name for the other cross-dressing, but it's not really so much fetish. It's like a lifestyle for them. They become transgendered. Those are the ones that usually will go and suck and fuck and want to be put on hormones and become a woman. And then you have the ones that are just downright gay that are cross-dressing because they want to feel like they're somebody else while they go and do things with men. So there's like different variations. Like it's between like sissified cross-dressing and feminization. Like I'm sure you've heard all these different terms, this umbrella term for like you know, all these new fetishes they have out nowadays. Kind of interesting, right, Daisy?
Of course.
Yes. But I mean, I would love to try to find... I hope you would let me network and try to find somebody for you. Because if not, when I come to Vegas, I'm going to play with you while I'm there.
Okay.
Listen, you know I had no problem taking Paula out on a leash in Vegas. And I would absolutely do the same thing for you if you ever wanted to do that.
I appreciate it.
I think it'd be awesome. Let me tell you, I loved walking Paula on that leash, and he was dressed like I think a French maid or something that time we went to Vegas. And I had a lot of fun. People were looking at us, staring at us. But you know what? The best part about it is Paula and I are both exhibitionists. So you can only imagine how we must have felt when we were walking down those streets where people were staring at us and honking their horns.
Yeah, it's a sight to see.
It was right down in Vegas by, where was it? The backside of the Hard Rock Hotel where I was staying that time.
Yep. That's where AVNs were back then, yep.
What's that?
That's where AVN was back then.
Yes, exactly. So I was at the AVN in 2014 and 2015. So I have some photos of myself that I was pretty heavy. I was wearing that silver catsuit. I think there's some AVN photos of me, Fred, Lady Ice Queen, and my friend Master Danny, who took photos of us, and some other people at AVN. It has the AVN logo on it, which is pretty awesome. So...
Far back, wasn't it?
What's that?
It must have been like, what, 8 years ago?
Yeah, 8 years ago. Now, it's kind of funny. I was telling you recently, I met Sean Elliott from Debbie Does Dallas 2 at Exotica. Did I tell you this story? Oh, I'm going to tell you. So, actually, he's probably listening to the show tonight because I tweeted to him on Twitter. He actually is pretty responsive to Mistress. Actually, at this past Exotica, he had come up to me at, there was a private birthday party for Mikey Ramos for his birthday, and he's like the owner of ASN, and I used to be on ASN Network with my radio show. So anyway, there was a private party, and Sir Lorenzo invited me and my friend there, And we went and we hung out. And Sean Elliott goes, "Oh, Mistress Candy, I started following you on Twitter, but you don't follow me back." And I said, "Well, I don't know. I have to see who you are." So I ended up talking to him. I find out that he used to do Debbie Does Dallas 2, Mascara, all these really awesome, great porno movies from years yonder. So he's a pretty famous porn star guy, right? And I end up hanging out with him the night at Exotica. He's at the end of the after party. He's walking me around by my hand, and then I'm sitting on his lap. Look, he's cool. Listen, I'm very friendly with all these people because I work in the industry, the same industry they do, right? So basically, I was kind of thinking of maybe doing like a BDSM movie with Sean Elliott, showing both sides of porn and BDSM. I mean, I wouldn't really be doing anything, but I did agree to, like, if he had let me to kind of fuck him with a strap on, and he said, yeah, he would do it. So I get to tie him up and, like, so I don't know when it's supposed to occur, but I think, like, it's kind of in the works. Like, I've been talking about it with Sir Lorenzo. And Sean, if you're listening, I would like to do a movie with you, but we got to sit down and kind of iron out some details because, I'm not a porn star and I really am not looking to be, portrayed as a porn star, but, who knows? I want to have a discussion about it. Not that I wouldn't be willing to, but, I do have a boyfriend and I don't want my boyfriend to get upset because I'm not a porn. You know what I mean? Like, there's just limits of things, but I would love to tie him up, suspend him, and fuck him with a strap on and make him become my bitch. So and it kind of gives the proper BDSM into porn industry rather than mistresses jerking off submissives. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So what do you think about that type of thing?
Great.
I mean, it's pretty awesome if you think about it because, I mean, here's the kicker. Not to say other dominatrixes haven't done this, because maybe they have, but, like they make short, like, films, like clips for sale. But I would rather just make a whole fucking movie rather than making clips for sale.
It'd be a lot more fun.
Exactly. And you know what? Let me tell you, I hung out with them at this dinner party, and they were fucking fantastic. Sean Elliott, let me tell you something. He is an absolute gentleman. Him and Evan Stone are the two most nicest porn star men I have ever met in the industry. They are absolute sweethearts, the both of them. Like, and Evan I know a pretty long time, as you know. I mean, remember when I saw him in fucking Vegas? I was chasing him around the thing, and Paula goes, "Oh, there he is." But actually, every time I've ever seen him, he always stops and talks to me and takes pictures with me. He's very nice. And this past Exotica, Evan Stone says to me, he goes, "Wow, Mistress." He goes, "You look fucking fantastic." He goes, "My God." Then he asks about, something, and I said, "Oh, that's no more." And he was like, "Tell me everything." So it was like, but like, it was pretty cool. But yeah, so I really want to make this movie thing with Sean Elliott.
Okay.
I think it'd be good for me and good for him both.
Yeah.
It's, and of course, I told Sir Lorenzo that I would dominate him, like, wearing pasties or something, because the whole idea of being dominated by a mistress is not to see any nudity, because nudity is like a submissive trait. So basically, a pure dom would never show nudity, but, I'd be willing to wear, like, they said I could wear, like, the stuff that I normally wear. I mean, maybe to make it a little bit more spicy, I would wear pasties or something, but, like, but other than that, like, no touching, like, I would kind of, like, tease him, kind of, you know what I mean? Like tease and denial, like, type stuff. Like, true, like, domination without, like, any sexual involvement in it. Except me, like, fucking him with a strap-on, like, into submission or something.
Well, of course, if he's listening right now, I hope he's getting ready.
Oh, yeah, oh my God, that's hilarious. But you live in Vegas, Daisy. So if Mistress, hold on a second. I'm smoking pot while I'm doing the show.
Right.
So if Mistress decides to do this and has to go to Vegas, I'd rather come and stay with you, of course.
Yes.
Rather than stay in a hotel. I mean, I know you said you have a roommate. I'm cool with that, whatever. But the cool thing is, I get to spend time with you and dominate you while I stay with you for a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah, you never know. You might like it. The weather here's a little...
Oh, I know. I've been to fucking Vegas in January, and it was like 65, 70 degrees for AVN one time. And when I came back here, it was like a fucking snowstorm. I went to AVN twice, actually, 2 years. Like, not in a row, but like 1 year and then the year after. I think it was like 2000 and, I want to say 13 and 14 and 2012 or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you to come back, so we'll see you soon.
I know, I want to come back. So, I might have to go now if Sean wants to make this film, because Sir Lorenzo told me, like, I think AVN is like, I hope it's like January, February. That's what it usually is. But I don't know if I can. I may have to go to one of the other Exoticas. I don't know. We'll see.
Understandable. We'll stay in contact, of course.
But I still want to come to Vegas anyway, because honestly, I could use like a week's vacation. You know, like, and you know what's funny? Remember back then, like, when I was at the hotel and you would come to see me at the room with Paula, and I'd be, like, on a phone sex call, like, I had you guys, like, listening to me dominate somebody on the phone. Well, this morning, this guy calls me up, and he's like, I want you to dominate me. I said, yeah, well, what do you like? I'm just out of curiosity. I'm not going to call you, like, all kinds of, like, the derogatory names. You're not into that kind of shit. I'm not a fucking mind reader. And so he reads some of my reviews, and he tells me, he goes, I think one of my friends called you and told me to call you on here. He said that you did a cock and ball session with him, and it was like you were not an amateur. I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly who that guy is. Like, I had him stick Bengay down his pee hole. He tied his dick up with a shoelace to it was like turning purple. He had clothespins on his like ball sack, and I think I made him take like chili oil or something and put it like on the head of his penis, and then I made him jerk off with like Bengay and chili oil. It was like really bad. What?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but so
you got his friend now.
Exactly. So it was his friend wanted like something similar, but he wanted like extreme nipple torture. So I made him like, I made him take like, I'm like, what do you got in your house that you could use? He goes, well, I have a couple of clothespins. He goes, I also have these Japanese clover clamps. I'm like, oh, those are nasty. I'm like, when you're going to put them on the last, like, thing that you do, because you just even touch the chain on them, the whole fucking thing, like, burns your nipples. Because, they, like, really pull on everything. So, I had him do, like, a nipple torture session, and he was, like, the guy was screaming like a fucking schoolgirl. It was hilarious. Wow. And then he says to me, goes, wow, my friend was right. You really aren't an amateur. I'm like, listen, I've been a dominatrix for 33 years. I think I know what I'm doing by now. I'm like, and if I can do it over the phone and have you do it to yourself, that's even fucking better, because it's more amusing for me to listen to me teaching you how to do something to yourself. So it's kind of funny, right? It's like a double, like, humiliation call. I humiliate him. He doesn't even realize it.
Love it. We love it, MistressCandy. But anyways, we're gonna hopefully see you here soon. Okay, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, I'll call you back after I finish my show. I'll call you back.
Yes, dear.
All right. Good night, Daisy. Thanks for participating. Good night. So, yeah, that was pretty awesome. I actually like when It's funny, I've been talking to Daisy off and on, and since I moved away from my last situation, Daisy actually had asked about the whole situation. I told Daisy the whole story, and Daisy is kind of happy, very happy that Mistress is no longer with that person. So, Daisy knows a lot about my personal life because we are also very good friends. Okay, Daisy and I met actually in Vegas in, I think it was like 2012. I went to AVN with my slave Paula to meet another mistress and some friends there. And we were actually doing like something on stage for them, like me and another mistress and a bunch of other people. So we basically had to go there for that, and I got to like see all these famous porn stars like Evan Stone and like Ron Jeremy and like, I don't know, other people. I can't really remember offhand. It was the first time I ever went to AVN. It was 2012. And it was pretty cool. It was fucking awesome. I had a great time. We stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Stayed there for a week. And it was pretty cool. And I met a lot of people and had a great time. And it was like probably one of the best times of my life there. And then I met Daisy there because my friend, another mistress, had her sub, and Daisy was like in service to her for the weekend. He lives in Vegas, and I guess she put some ad that she was looking for a local submissive to help with errands for the show. And he signed up for it, and Daisy I met through this woman. And he actually picked up me and my slave from the airport, drove us to our hotel, carried our bags he was like our chauffeur and everything. It was awesome. And then while we were at the show, like I was getting ready to do some stuff for this woman and, for the AVN show, like a BDSM thing on stage with her and these other submissives, like doing a whipping demo or something. And, a whipping and flogging demo, I think it was. And Daisy actually asked to be on stage, and, I think she was gonna, like, spank him or whip him or something like that. And he had no, like, girly clothes, so I lent him a corset and a pair of, like, booty shorts, because at the time, I was heavy and probably about his size, so it actually worked out quite well. And then after that, we, like, kind of hung out for a while, and I got to spank Daisy. It was kind of fun. So he's actually a really good submissive. He cross-dresses, but he's, like, a fetish cross-dresser. Only dresses up because I tell him to. Not like he wants to go out dressed like a woman. He's not like that. Doesn't want to be a woman. And he's not gay, but he's so subservient that he would do anything a mistress asked. So if I asked him to go out and, like, suck someone's dick, he would. Only because I asked him or told him to. Not because he wants to. Because he wants to get under the good graces of a mistress. So he has very good potential. He is a slave. And if I ever gone to Vegas, I would definitely stay with him at his house and have him like a hotel service for mistress. But I don't have to pay because I'm staying with him for a week. I get to play with him for a week and have him be my slave for a week. Something he's been wanting for a long time. And it's great. It's total dominance. I get to give him orders and he has to do what I say. And he loves to do it because this is what he's been looking for. So, I would totally, like, have him as a slave if I go to Vegas off and on. Why not? Be awesome. Plus, he's a cool guy. I like Daisy. He's awesome. And, he's probably one of the, he's not old. He's a little, I think he's, like, younger than me. Like, maybe by a couple of years. And, he's pretty cool, actually. He's got a really nice personality. He does a lot of crazy shit for work. People hire him to pick up cars and bring them to them. So, like, then he's always, like, flying home. Like, so I told him I would call him back after the show was over. But he's cool. I've been keeping in contact with him. I have to say he's probably one of the best submissive friends I've ever had. besides this girl Jody that I know, and which you probably know her as Mistress Bella. And you know, and submissive Bella, she's a switch. She's been on the show before with her Dom once before, Dom Nikita, but she's not in that dynamic any longer. It's so funny, a lot of BDSM the dynamics, they always change. Like, they can be so long for a long time, and then one day you notice like a change, and the dominant or the submissive no longer has like displaying of anything, and then you think it's over, and then you see it is. So that's why it was very imperative for me to get images of me off of my ex's page, because, you know, by him leaving them on there made me feel that he, you know, was still holding on to that, but things were so rotten and nasty between us, and I really, like, just the things he did to me, and then he has the balls to leave my picture up on his fucking page. Like, that's something you don't do to somebody. You break up with them, the picture of me should be removed from the page. So I don't know what the fuck he did for months. Finally, I had to, like, message somebody to message him, and then the photos got taken down, like, that same day. So I was pretty happy about it, but, you know, like, seriously, like, I removed photos of him immediately off my shit. I didn't want anything of him on there. That's why I gave the whole radio station a revamp, because, you know, he used to be on here, he's not anymore, and I made everything totally different. There's women on here. I mean, look, I would be happy if guys wanted to join and make a kinky podcast. I'm cool with that. But just know, it's run by women. I'm a woman. I have Rita on here. I have Mistress Black Velvet. We're all women. You know, it's kind of like female superiority network. I don't know. That's terrible to say that. But, you know, I just want, you know, people to know they can come on if they're a dude. I don't discriminate. But, you know, you're gonna be working under women. And not in that manner either. So, I'm pretty excited to go to that metal show next Friday. I haven't been to Dingbats in a couple of years. I think last time I went was right before the pandemic. And then last year I was supposed to go to a Black Friday hunger thing that's hosted by Steve Zing every year. He had it this year too, and I couldn't go either because I went on vacation with my boyfriend. But initially I was going to go. And then what happened? Then, so then I didn't go to that. And then I was going to go to the Black Friday thing. I couldn't because I went on vacation. There was something else I was going to say. So now I've decided to go to the That Metal Show thing. So it's been like, I want to say 3 years since I've seen them, the Dingbats people and the bar. It's been a couple of years. Because I don't think my ex and I went to anything while we were living there. It was all when we were living in the apartment. So I think it was like either 2019 or 2018 or 2020 even. I don't even know. I don't remember. I'd have to look. Strange. But whatever. So I'm kind of excited to go to Jersey. And even though I was just in Jersey for Exotica a couple of months ago. But I got to see some of my Jersey friends. And I think a couple of my other Jersey friends are going to meet me there too. It's just, I'm pretty happy about that. And you guys know who you are, so I'm not going to say your names out loud on the radio. Pretty funny. And I don't know. So I just want to say thank you to our sponsor. I'm going to talk about our sponsor, Spunk Lube. They are at spunklube.com. They are a pretty good lubricant. My boyfriend and I try a couple of different brands of lube, and he even said that the Spunk Lube is the best one out of all of them. We are currently using the silicone hybrid, and it's pretty awesome. They make another one that's cum. It's called Cum Lube, and it looks like cum, basically. It's like that whitish, thick, creamy color. Then they have a silicone one, a natural one, that is like coconut, avocado, and olive oil, I think. And you could even eat that one if you want to. It's completely edible. And then they have like a pink one, an orange one, a green one, all different types. So check them out. They're at spunklube.com. And, I don't know. I want to thank Blitzkid for allowing me to use your song She Dominates for the show. It's like perfect. Thanks to Veets for introducing me to them so I can use their song still. They actually have a new album out, and I think they released it on Amazon, but you can just Google Blitzkid, and it's Blitzkid, and they're pretty awesome. They're actually a punk band, and I think they're from like, some of the guys, don't quote me, I think they're from like Virginia, North Carolina, something like that. They're pretty good though. They have a couple of albums that I really like, so check them out. But their song that I really like is She Dominates, and again, that's like the opener for the Whip Appeal show, and the song for the network. Of course, Mistress Black Velvet and Rita Daniels have other things, but this is what I prefer. And I'm planning to go to as many concerts as I can, so I'm hoping to go to some with my boyfriends over the next couple of months, as long as they're like close and they're not on like, crazy work nights or whatever. When we go to concerts on work nights, I'm like pretty tired the next day at work, Even though it ends at like 11 o'clock, it's still like by the time you get home and get to bed, it's like 1:30, And then you gotta wake up for work the next day. It's like total death. So, I don't know. But, so we're going to plan to go to some shows, but, I'm going to that metal show without him. I'm bringing my friends. It's too far for him, and it's kind of, like, late. It's on a Friday night, and by the time my friends and I get back, it's going to be, like, 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning on Saturday, so it's, like, a 2-night affair, a night and a day, or beginning of a day, so, like, when you get home, you're, like, sleep all fucking day. And then you're up on Sunday, you know what I mean? Because it's tiring. It's like going to a concert. There's actually a bunch of bands playing. There's like a Pantera tribute band. There's some, I forget exactly. But these are bands that that Don Jameson and Eddie Trunk and Jim Florentine like picked to play there. So it's kind of cool. I think one of them is called War for the Crown. It's a Pantera tribute band. I don't know. I can look it up real quick, actually. I saw it on Facebook, and I had marked that I was going. So, let's see. I think it's, hold on. Of course, I can't find it now. Hold on a second. I'm, like, looking at my phone while I'm, like, talking with the microphone. It's alright. My Daisy goes, I'm sorry, I was shy. I'm like, it's alright, it's cool. Oh my god. See, that's how submissive he is. He wants to like help. He was texting me, may I go please? And I'm like, sure. He goes, sorry, I was shy. I said, no problem, it's alright. Like, because he's pretty good at like stuff, so I'm gonna say, he said it was fun. He goes, but thanks, it was fun. I said, you're welcome. And I said, I'll call you after. So, he's pretty funny. He's, like I said, he's a really good submissive. So, if any dom who's looking to have a non-paying submissive in Las Vegas area, he is pretty fucking experienced. He's very obedient. Yeah, he's good. But I know when I want to go to Vegas, I have a place to stay. He said I can always stay with him, which is cool. It saves me from having to pay for a hotel. Why not? And he said houses where he lives are pretty cheap, but I don't know. I wouldn't buy a house in Vegas. He did say if I do come in January or February, the weather's like, 70s, 60s. I've been there January where it's been like 65, 70. One time I think it was like 80 degrees when I was there. So, pretty interesting. But yeah, I like AVN. That's a pretty cool thing to go. If you ever have a chance to go to AVN, you really should. It's cool. It's pretty awesome. It's like a big Exotica, but different. It has kind of like a different atmosphere, I think. It's more, the one I went to had this big woman thing hanging from the ceiling. She was, like a ribbon dancer or something. Or there's a name for that. I forget what they call that. Like a satin trapeze artist or something. And then there was her and a guy doing it. And then, this was a long time ago. Then they had these people hanging from like meat hooks. Like fetish suspension with hooks, I guess it's called. And then they had these people like shooting fire. They had all kinds of stuff, I remember. Oh my god, I can't believe I have a pair of brand new pants. And I ate a little powdered donut and I made a slobby mess out of myself. So, I guess I'm going to have to wash these brand new pants tonight. And have them for tomorrow. Then they'll be nice and clean. I was trying not to have to wash them, but oh well. I guess I have to wash some stuff anyway, so. It's funny, when I was younger, my nickname used to be Crumbs when I was eating. And apparently it's the same thing. Crumbs. I don't know. Well, season 2 of the Whip Appeal show is probably going to be, exactly like what I have now. But I was hoping, and I think it's going to be pretty well, I keep pushing and asking people to email me some questions and stuff. Kind of interesting. Today, I hopped on for the first time on Mistress, and I had a bunch of messages, So, I'm going to go back on the page right now, actually. And, hold on. I have to go into the real Mistress Candy. Hold on. I have 2 Instagrams. One is at the real, hold on a second. At the real Mistress C69. And then I have at the real Mistress Candy69. And I use both of them. But the one I use most is the real Mistress Candy69, I think. Let's see. I have a whole bunch of messages in here. I have this artist on Instagram. His name is Kentucky Dixon. And he tells me I'm beautiful. So I said, oh, thank you. How are you? He goes, pretty good. How are you? And then he writes, good morning. So I'm going to say, hi. What's up? I mean, I try to interact with fans or people who seem to message me in a nice manner, but I get some people that really send me, like, stupid fucking shit on here. Here's one. This guy, Akash Rohilla. He says, hello. Then he says, ma'am, please talk with me. It's my humble request from my bottom of my heart to talk to you. You were looking so hot in your photos. That's what he says to Mistress. So, I don't even answer this guy because like, look, there's a way to approach me, and that's kind of like a little derogatory to me, I think, to some degree. Like, I don't know. He should, just in general, like, the way he talks to women is like, I'm not even going to answer him, Why make it so he can continue to talk to me like that, So it's like, just, ugh. That's why he's single, I guarantee it. He can't get a girlfriend because no woman wants to be around somebody who talks to people like that. He's just a major league turnoff. So, I mean, people don't realize, how they talk to somebody. It's really like, it's really, just not good stuff, Like, they don't understand that, how you talk and approach people really, like, sets a precedence for yourself. Like, for me, for instance, when I'm out in public and I'm mistress, in the past, I've had this one asshole submissive tell me, "Oh, why do you talk to people like that in public? That's so rude." What was rude about it? What did I say to this one guy? This one guy was staring at me funny. I said, "Oh, you like what you see?" I said, "You want to take a picture with me? We'll make it last longer." Like, kind of a funny, sarcastic thing. And the fella that I was with, or the cross-dresser, goes, "You are so mean to people." And I said, "Yeah, well, I'm a mistress, and guess what? I'm demanding, and that's exactly how I am. I do it to other people, too, so they know that they're inferior to me right away. It's kind of like a TP, the Total Power Exchange." He goes, "Yeah, but you shouldn't be doing that with strangers." What does it matter? I should be doing it with him, but he wasn't listening to me anyway. And why would I dominate him like that in public? He doesn't listen to anything I had to say anyhow. So, some of the people I met in public actually liked it, that it was pretty funny. I had guys one time in concert parking lots, oh God, on their hands and knees, kissing the boots, kissing the ground I've walked on. I've had guys bending over with me with my foot, like, on their back, standing, like, on top of them, basically, for photos. I've had people stand next to me and, take photos with a leash on them. It's pretty funny. Well, I don't know. I guess, now I don't have anybody at the end of my leash, so it's kind of cool. I mean, I do have another slave, but I haven't seen him in a long time, and he's been pretty busy. His wife has been ill. And, slave Paula. So, slave Paula's kind of back in my graces again. Well, always in my graces, but haven't seen him yet to give him his collar back. So, who knows when I'll be able to see him, but I know next month he's going to be 75 years old, I think. And, he's in pretty good shape for 75 years old, so I can't really do a lot of, like, stuff with him because of his age, but I think I can, do some soft impact play, maybe. Maybe just dress him up and walk him out on a leash in public is enough for him at this point, being that he's elder. I don't know. This is a good question. Other dominants. Would you disregard a slave because of their age and their physical look? Because of, let's say you had a slave serving you for the past 15 years and, physically looking at them, they weren't capable of receiving such infliction by you. Would you get rid of them based on that? Because actually, a few years back, he had some medical issues, and I released him because I felt that I was going to hurt him with the type of impact play that I like to do. And, So we talked it over. He came back to me. Listen, Paula has been my slave on and off for the past almost 16 years now, okay? So I know this person better than he knows himself, just as well as he probably knows me. So basically, there will come a moment where I get to see him. I mean, I do text with him and talk with him. I talked to him last week on the phone for a while. And he had said that, he was trying to... Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. For all you people that have that belching, burping fetish, you got to hear Mistress belch on the air for free. I don't know if they call that felching. There's a word for that. I don't know what... I'm not exactly sure what felching is. Actually, I should look it up while I'm on the air right now. If anybody knows the answer to what is felching, could you call in to the show? 516-406-3512. So let's see. I'm gonna Google it. I know it's probably something dirty. Felching? Let's see. Oh, this is pretty gross. And how and why this popped into my head, I couldn't tell you. Felching, sucking or eating semen out of someone's anus. It's a sexual behavior about which virtually nothing has been written in scholarly literature, despite of the fact that it appears to be not an uncommon practice among certain subpopulations of men who have sex with men. So it's MSN relationship. So it's basically, here's the gist of it. Felching is when you go down on a guy to go give him a rim job and you suck someone else's cum out of his asshole. So basically that's felching. That's pretty disgusting if you ask me. Oh my God, that is really gross. Or semen or other fluids are sucked from the anus. Yeah, that's pretty gross. So here, felching, the act of ejaculating semen into one's anal cavity and then sucking it out through a straw, funnel, or other receptacle. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Or they even say now it's from a partner's vagina. So, I mean, I don't know, is felching also for women? It says in another article or thing here. Felching refers to the act of licking or sucking semen from a partner's anus or vagina after coming inside. While a potential turn-on, it isn't always, this is interesting. So, I don't know how true this is, but I thought when a guy eats semen out of your pussy, right? It's called eating a cream pie. I didn't think it was called felching. That's disgusting. It isn't always safe. Why? Let's see. Eating a cream pie. Felching, yeah, involves tasting and swallowing of semen deposited into someone after penetrative sex. Are you turned on by the idea of your partner licking or sucking every drop of cum from the inside of your body after sex? You're probably into felching. Interesting. Now here's another nasty part. And if you crave the taste of jizz, you're deposited into your partner's body after sex, you're definitely into it. So, okay, this is pretty disgusting because actually you're going to laugh. I've actually participated in something like this with my ex. My ex was, bi and into guys and blah, 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 right? So, basically, him and I had sex, and he had said to me that, he would really like to, that he would really like to, make a deposit in there, and then afterwards he wanted me to, if he asks me this first. He goes, I think it would be really hot if you, squatted over my face in the bathtub after, I, like, came in there. And then basically, we could, I could suck it out of you. That would be really hot. And I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, at the time, I was like, yeah, I'm not really into that shit. So he kept harassing me about it. So I was like, all right, fine. I let him fucking do it one night. And he got, like, turned on by it. It was, like, disgusting. So, honestly, it was kind of like, I really, to some degree, I don't like guys going down there on me. Because, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm fresh enough, and I'd rather not, like, have anyone say that I smell or whatever. So I just really decide, like, I would rather, like, have sex with someone rather than, like, have them lick my pussy, per se. I want my boyfriend's dick. I don't want him to, like, lick my pussy. I want him to fuck me. Like, there's a big difference, So, I don't know, like, there was one time, I think, my guy and my guy did something like that, but it wasn't on purpose, and then him and I realized, and we're like, oh, but, yeah, apparently, I thought it was just men who wanted to do that with men, but apparently now they say it's like guys can do it with women with their vagina, like, guy'll fuck her, come in her, and then want to eat it out after that, like, because he likes the taste of jizz. So it's interesting. Those guys that do that are the ones that are usually bisexual and that end up turning to be gay. From my experience, anyway. I don't know about anybody else's. I was lighting an incense stick, and then I was lighting my joint cigarette again, of course. I like to smoke multiple times in the night, which is good. And you know what? Listen, it's good for my pain. I have a lot of neck and back pain lately. I mean, look, this Wednesday is 8 months post-op that I had the cervical fusion surgery done. But I went... Oh, who's calling me? Oh, hold on. This is on the... I'm trying to answer it. Hello? Hello? Oh, is this... Can you hold on a second? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hello, Randy. Thank you for calling into the BDSM Alive Radio Network, and you are live on air with Mistress Candy and the Whip Appeal Show.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It was funny. I had, remember that submissive Daisy that I told you about that lived in Vegas, that me and Paula went to see some mistress at the time, and the slave picked us up. Well, Daisy and Mistress, myself, became friends, and Daisy was calling me on my regular phone, and I had said to him tonight, I said, you're live on my show, and he goes, really? He goes, oh, I don't know if I could do it. I said, come on, Daisy. So I actually got him, I got him to talk a little bit about himself, and I do have dames that listen to the show that live in Vegas, so I think it would be good that if he talked a little bit, maybe sparked someone's interest in, taking him on as a submissive. Because let me tell you, like, I want to go back to Vegas to do some things with AVN, which may be like, I don't know if I told you, I met Sean Elliott at Exotica, and he's like the porn star from Debbie Does Dallas and Mascara and a couple of other movies, right? So he's interested in making a BDSM like movie with me, and I would like to do it, but I don't want to do porn. I had told him that I had said, listen, like, if you want to do a BDSM thing with me, it's going to be pure domination. Like, I'm going to hog tie you with bondage and do a bunch of different stuff and, like, fuck you with a strap on. And he, like, looked at me and he's like, would you go easy? I said, of course I would go easy first. I said, but that's domination. Like, I don't want you to, like, be touching me or looking at me naked. Like, I want to be in, like, full dom gear. And because think about this, Randy. There's no other mistress that has done a BDSM movie except, and they have never had sex, and they're all like naked or half naked. Like, I want to be in full dress, No, I mean, I'll wear a dress with like boots and stuff, but like, I want to have no nudity showing and completely dominate him. So there's no sexual involvement. He doesn't get to see my like pussy, but I do sit on his face with panties on. So it's pure domination. So I think like what? That's what I would like to do to him. What do you think about that? That's like queening somebody.
Yeah, yeah. It's don't let people change you.
No, I know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, I would be willing, like, I don't know, like, I don't want to show any nudity, because doms who show nudity are submissive, because that's a submissive tendency. So that gives a false, you know, so that's why I stay away from that. Like, I mean, sometimes I'll do, you know, like a private webcam. If somebody wants to pay top dollar, wants to see me naked, I'll do that on my cam show. But, like, you know, but it's also good because they can't touch me there. Like, they only worship me from afar that way. So they're not even touching me or looking at me in the same room, which is even better. So it's like long distance domination or long distance body worship for the most part. But, you know, I want to do some stuff. I want to go to Vegas anyway. I could use a good vacation. You know, my boyfriend has been talking about going to Vegas. And I said, oh, I have a friend who lives there and we can go and stay with him. And I had mentioned it to Daisy, and Daisy's like, absolutely. He's like, don't pay for a hotel. Come and stay with me. So it's pretty awesome. I've been talking to Daisy since, 2012. So a long time. What's that?
How about that?
That's a long time. But how many years? That's like 10 years.
10 years, yeah. Almost
11 years. So I know Daisy a very long time. Daisy, let me tell you, is a really good submissive. I don't know why any mistress wouldn't want him. He's very obedient. He's very subservient. And what I like about him is he's a fetish cross-dresser. He only cross-dresses because a mistress tells him to. He's not one of these guys that cross-dresses at home because he wants to be a woman. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
He doesn't really do any cock-sucking or any of that unless a mistress tells him. Who the fuck is Anthony? Oh, my friend tried to call me just now. I'm going to tell him and say, dude, I'm doing my radio show. Hold on. This is my, like, high school friend. Hold on.
Oh.
He knows what I do. I'm going to tell him he should call in. Because I talk to him about this type of stuff. He tells me that if he was to do... Because, all right, I was 13, he was 14, I dated him for like 2 days. Then we became really good friends after that. So, like, it was like, you know, the thing, never date your friends, right? So, we were young, whatever, we were classmates, and then he kind of ditched me for this popular girl in school, and I was like, whatever, I could care less. So, you know, and then all these years later, we've been talking throughout the years and this and that. And, you know, XYZ, and basically, you know, whatever. So, he has some, like, issues. So, I'm like his friend, of course. I'm there for him. He was there for me. So, he knows about, you know, my new guy. He knows my new guy just turned 27. All my guy friends, like, laugh about it. Like, people call me a cougar now, Randy. But I guess to some degree I am. I mean, think about it. I'm going to be 48. I'm going to be 48 in July, and my boyfriend just turned 27.
But you don't look it.
I know, I don't look it, which is great. Thank God. And then, you know, you have people making comments to him like, oh, well, you know, when you're 37, she's going to be 57. And he's like, yeah, so... Like, age is just a number. Like, you know, we went out for his birthday. Like, his whole family. Me, his mom, his, like, nephew, the girlfriend. Like, bunch of, like, people, right? We go out for his birthday. And the night we go out, there's, like, this band, this, like, 50s band playing there. There's a trio. A woman, 2 guys. And I think they, like, like, had like a drummer too, I think. Maybe it was 4 people and I didn't see the 4th one. But anyway, they had like this concert going on. They were playing like all this old music. So people were dancing in there. This is fucking hilarious. Let me tell you this story. And there's this woman dancing with this guy. And she gotta be like, oh God, she looks pretty old, this lady, right? So she had to have been like, I don't know, 80 years old, I would say, just by the looks of her. Who knows? She could have been younger and just looked old. But anyway, the guy that was with her, you could tell, was much younger than her. So I looked at my boyfriend and I said to him, I said, that's going to be us in like 20 years. And he just looked at me and started laughing, right? I said, that woman has probably been with him a while, okay? She hasn't really aged that well. I said, oh God, I hope I don't fucking look like her. And he goes, no. He goes, I think you'll be fine. But it was just funny, like, because, that's something that he has to consider. Look, when I'm 57, he's going to be 37. I'm sure I'll be with him a long time. Because listen, what's great about him? All the things I wanted, wait, listen to this. All the things I wanted in prior relationships, I never got. Even when I was married to that schmecklehead that I was married to. So this guy, from the beginning, wants monogamy. And, we don't lie about nothing. There's nothing to lie about. There's no arguing. There's no fights. I've been with him 3 months now, and I've had not one argument with him. We've slept in the same bed for like 10 days, which was awesome. He says I snore, though, which is hilarious, because I've been told I snore, but I didn't want to believe it. I thought I kind of stopped, but apparently I snored for 3 days in Maine and kept him up all night long. But we've had not one argument, and it's been a very healthy, happy, very good relationship. And what's even funnier? You want to laugh at this? Where I live, I had this like wooden oriental like slat bed with this mattress on it, right? And within the first month of me living here, him and I broke the bed. And then a couple of weeks ago, we were still fucking on it, and we went downstairs. This is a pretty funny story. We went downstairs, and my 2 roommates and their friends were sitting on the couch, and they said to me, did you hear what I said to you? I'm like, no. My friend Ross goes, well, she yelled up the stairs, are you guys done fucking yet? Because he said to me, like later in the day, he said to me, he goes, dude, it was fucking hilarious. He goes, we heard him come up the stairs. We heard him in the room. You guys were fucking for an hour and a half straight. She couldn't stay in her room because she's directly below you. All she hears is creaking and fucking like she said she thought we were gonna fall through the ceiling, and then like fucking the guy across the hall from me said he had to go downstairs because it was like too loud. Like apparently I was like having like a sex marathon in the house, and my roommates all heard it, so they went downstairs to kind of escape the the noise. And then when James and I went downstairs, he said something like, my roommate says to him, wow, you guys, you have some stamina. He goes, well, thank you. Like, he goes, how old are you? And he goes, 26, almost 27. He goes, oh, that's why you have all that stamina. So it was really funny. They were like laughing. Like, so my roommates, after he leaves, my roommates were fucking ranking on me. They're like, dude, I'm like, listen, the bed is broken. We broke it. We got to get it out of there. So a couple of days later, my roommate helped me take the bed frame out of here, and it was broken. And so it's safe to say that me and my new guy broke the bed. So I found this really funny meme online from Breaking Bad, and it has a broken bed, and it says breaking bed, so I sent it to him, and he was fucking laughing hysterical over it. So I don't know. I mean, look, him and I are getting along pretty good. We've been together 3 months. He's been talking about working on getting me to move in with him, which is kind of a cool thing. He's totally cool with me being a dominatrix. He knows I do the radio show. I mean, he knows I do, like, some pro-dom sessions here and there, but I haven't done any yet since I've been back. But I've had a potential couple of guys email me for, potential appointments, trying to plan, like, when they're, off or whatever. So, I mean, I'm kind of trying to do that. At the end of the month, I have to empty out my storage unit, so I got to bring all my stuff here that's in storage. So I have to have a couple of my friends with vans come and help, and then I think I have to get a U-Haul van to put, like, my couch and stuff in. Because the place I rent a house with 3 other people, and we each have our own bedroom. I have the biggest bedroom in the house. So the way, it's kind of funny, right? Yeah. So my room is pretty big. So I have that beautiful black couch. If you remember the goth couch that I had in the house with what's his face, all that furniture was mine. So I have the black goth couch that opens to a single sleeper. So if my guy ever wants to come over, or if one of my friends, I have another bed. I have a beautiful black gothic black velvet chaise lounge chair, and I also have a regular chair too. So I have room for all the stuff in here. My workout equipment, I'm probably going to have to leave in the living room, and I told my roommates they're welcome to use it. And then the kitchen table in the kitchen here is kind of fucked. So we're going to take my beautiful wrought iron and glass table and chairs and bring that here. So, I mean, I don't have to go through the clothes and dishes and stuff, but you know what? I need all this stuff. Like, I'm going to have to just try. And if I have to, I'll get a fucking plastic shed and put my shit outside if I have to, So, I mean, I may have to do that. But my friends here said I have some room. They have room in the basement. I can put some stuff. So I'm hoping, but it's, they're going to have to get rid of that moldy mattress in the back so I can put my stuff down over there. So I know there's like a bunch of stuff in the house, but I live with some really cool people, let me tell you. Like, one of my roommates is a big, tall, black guy, and I was kind of, like, petrified of him when I first moved here. But turns out he's a sweetheart, and he likes metal music, so him and I get along great. Then I have this other girl that lives downstairs. She's 23, pretty young, kind of is very defiant with certain things and doesn't clean up after herself. So me and the other guy kind of have to, like, have a talk with her every so often. And then we have this other guy downstairs who's a complete, utter tattletale and a cocksucker. So, like, we have to, like, kind of deal with him on a specific... He keeps turning the heat down to where it's like there's no fucking heat on in the house and the fucking house is cold a lot of the... We have, like, problems with him. So, I guess you can't have everybody being nice. But anyway, when I first moved here, my black roommate, Ross, he's hilarious. Him and his twin brother are making a short film about open relationships, which actually I'm going to send you the link for it after I get off the phone with you and stuff. There's a movie of me on YouTube. I did a short film about open relationships with them. And are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. And so basically I went to this local bar who I know the owner pretty well, and we filmed a short clip in there, me and this girl and this other guy. And it was about open relationships and finding someone to bring home to play with, kind of thing. And I said, oh, what do you know? I know a lot about this type of shit. So I saw them, like, they asked me if I had a whip or something, and I saw them with a crop whip, and so I don't know, it came to be. So anyway, I told them that I was a dominatrix, so they knew, because I said I'm going to be doing some stuff, and you'll probably see me dressing and blah, blah, blah. So they asked me to film in this movie, and when we come back from filming it, I come back and they film the second part where I'm dressed in my dom gear and I'm in the house here, like, trying to dominate this guy with this woman watching. It's pretty hilarious. So, yeah, but it's pretty cool. My roommates are pretty cool. I got really lucky, like, with this, like, environment where I'm living. And it's pretty close to my family and my friends and my guy. And you know what? I'm having a really good life, I have to say. I was telling my listeners earlier that this year, like, I'm probably gonna, like, in mid-January, or maybe what I think I'm doing, because next Friday I'm not gonna be on. I'm going to that metal show in Jersey with some friends, and Mistress Candy is well known there, so I'm going as Mistress, of course. Gonna wear a red velvet dress and white boots for Christmas, and normally I dress up as a kinky clause, but all that stuff is in storage, and I don't really have it here to wear there, so I kind of have to make do with what I got. And I figure a burgundy red velvet Christmas dress is pretty Christmassy, and with white boots, I think, and my snowflake necklace, I think I'll look pretty Christmassy. So I'm gonna do that, and then, so I don't know, next week I may have a recorded show on. I'm not 100% sure yet. Or maybe,
Okay.
because I'm not going to be on, because I'm going to be out with my friends in Jersey. Or who knows, maybe I'll do a show on Saturday or something. Because then what I'm probably going to end up doing is I won't do shows for like 2-3 weeks. I'm going to take off because I'm going to come back with a season 2. And it'll probably be, first week of February even. So I may just take a whole month off and just kind of rest and, get fresh ideas. And I want to have new things. Like I want to have like, I've been getting a lot of emails, like question and answers that I've been reading like on the air about people that have been like messaging me on Instagram and stuff. So kind of interesting, right?
Right.
I got one of these assholes sent me a dick photo of himself today. He goes, hi. Then sends me a picture of him with his, like, I don't even know if it's him, an erect dick. So I wrote, wow. I said, hi, nice to meet you. It's really inappropriate to send women you don't know, like, pictures of your dick. Like, seriously? Like, that's a good fucking way to get yourself blocked from my page. I said, so I'll tell you what, if you can't respond to the messages that you're going to hear, and because I sent him a voice text too, I said hear and see, then know you've been blocked for inconsiderateness. That's what I told him. To me, like, that it's fucking rude. It's like, okay, you say hi, you don't wait for me to answer, then you automatically send me, like, women do not want to see naked pictures of dicks in their fucking inbox, especially mistresses. Come on. Like, come on. I mean, Look, male doms are different. They probably want to see, like, pussies and shit. But, like, me, I could really fucking care less, to be quite honest with you. It's like, a dick picture to me signifies that they're a dick for even sending you a picture of that in the first fucking place. So I mean, So I'm hoping in a couple of weeks Rita will come on and start doing her show. I did text with her this morning, and she told me that she was still kind of having like a lot of pain in her neck. I mean, she had a multiple, cervical spinal fusion done, surgery like 2 months ago. I had mine 8 months ago, but I went away with, my boyfriend to Maine, and actually, I'll tell you, I have fallen 2 times since I had the surgery. The first time I fell is when I was living with Shithead in his house, and it was like maybe a month after surgery. I think this was like a plotted thing. Somebody left a broomstick kind of cockeyed so where I couldn't see it, and I tripped over it because at the time I wasn't supposed to look down or up, you know what I mean? So I trip over it and fall into like the closet door, and I like braced myself. I think it was the only time the asshole even got up off the couch to see if I was all right. And I had said, yeah, I think I'm all right. But, I started crying afterwards because I was like, oh my God, I just had this fucking surgery. And they tell me to avoid fucking falling, and I fucking fall, right? So then here we go. A few months later, I go away with my boyfriend, and I slip on the ice, and I fall. And now my lower back has been hurting. But I will say this. Before I fell, I was going to the pain management, and they were injecting my lower back anyway. I've been having some lower back problems, I think, since I had the surgery done on the neck. I think what happened was they said they decompressed my spine, but now I think my spine is compressed again because my lower back has been fucking killing me, and now my neck from where I had surgery has been really burning on the right and left side. So I'm back taking fucking pain pills again. It's terrible. And I'm working a lot on top of it. I can't go to the gym. I haven't gone to the gym in like a month because, one, I work so much, I have no time to go to the gym. And two, I have some neck and back issues right now, and I don't think going to the gym is going to help solve any of them, to tell you the truth. So,
Wow.
So I'm kind of like a little bit of a mess at the moment. But I will say this, my young boyfriend keeps me pretty active, so I don't need to go to the gym. I have very good sex with this guy. So, I mean, maybe that's why my neck and back, who the fuck knows. But the fact of the matter is I'm having a very good time with this young guy, and it's pretty good, I have to say. And it's a good relationship, and he knows, that people call into the show and stuff, and he knows what I do, so there's no, it's great. He's not even jealous about it, Randy. There's nothing for him to be jealous over, because, he's not doing this with me, and, but I tell him and show him stuff what I do, because it's fucking hilarious, and he thinks it's hot and it's funny that his girlfriend's a dominatrix. It's pretty awesome.
All I gotta say is I'm glad that you have someone to make you happy.
Yeah, he's very good to me too.
Yeah, because one thing I hate to see you upset or sad or.
I know. Remember, I have to say, Randy, when I needed you, you were there for me, listening to me cry about my fucking problems. I will say this: you and Sir Lorenzo and Mistress Black Velvet and some of my other friends from out in Suffolk County, these girls like Erin and Rebecca and Samantha and a couple of these other chicks, they all, and I needed somebody to, my friend Brenda too, and this other lady Danielle. I have a few people that I was talking to, even though he had banned me from talking to people. But now I just figure this much: he can ban me all he wanted. I was still eligible, and I basically started to have a life without him the moment he told me that I wasn't his girlfriend anymore. And that was November of last year. So, I mean, I was single for a whole year. I didn't really date anybody until August, until I went out with the guy that I'm with now. I mean, I went on one other date before that, and that was a disaster. But that didn't last too long. I'll have to tell you about that in private. That's fucking comical.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't last too fucking long. That was a one night stand type of deal, and the guy. I'm not gonna discuss it on air because I don't know if I think he listens to the show, so I'm just not gonna leave it at that. But yeah, it wasn't that great for me. Just I knew it wasn't gonna be. I wanted somebody who wanted to see me more often than, we'll see where it goes, one of those. So, so moving on to the young guy, I was kind of hesitant at first, but you know what? Why not? I will say this, he's probably the youngest guy I've ever been with, and he's more mature than my ex-husband and my ex ever would and could be. And he's probably one of the most healthiest, happy relationships I've ever had in a long time. I'm not even kidding. So, and it's kind of interesting. He has like a bunch of old cars, you know. He restored these, the 73 Cuda and a 71 Cuda. And one day he says to me, he goes, well, I finally can add a cougar to my collection. Pretty funny, right? Look, I went to listen. He just turned 27 last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But I dated him for a few months, and he was 26, so he's pretty young, you know. But you know what? He's really good. Like, look, I went to Exotica with one of my guy friends, and he, you know, didn't meet him, but they talked on the phone a lot or whatever, and with me and stuff. So he like knew him and whatnot, and he had no problem with me going away with my friend for a weekend. Nothing. If that was somebody else, oh God, he'd have a conniption fit. He'd throw a fucking hissy fit, and I wouldn't be able to go. Or he would have to go with me to make sure I wasn't like, you know, it was like ridiculous. It's like I had a chronic babysitter with this relationship from the beginning. The guy told me he wanted me to have friends. It was important for me to have a life besides him too. So, you know what? That's very important because that means that he trusts me from the beginning. And you know what I told him? I'm friends with a lot of guys. I don't really have a lot of friends that are girls. You know, here and there, I like to have some friends that I work with that are girls, but I don't really hang out with them outside other than the office unless it's like we're going out somewhere, like to a Christmas party or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, he's pretty good. He's fantastic. He's utterly amazing. This guy, I have to say, I'm pretty happy. All my girlfriends say, you know, you lucked out with that guy because you could have got a real shitbag again. I said, yeah, and I don't want a shitbag again. Thank you very much. even in like BDSM stuff, like I will not play with a guy who is a cross-dresser. I honestly, you want to laugh, Randy? I told my very good, close guy friend who's been on the show with me when I was at Exotica, I called him something. Oh, Evan Stone called him PG-13. Yeah. That was his nickname. So he actually said to me, he goes, you should really, wait, what did he say? He goes, you should really, I forget the hell was I talking about now. What was I talking about?
It'll come to you.
You forgot too, right? You're not paying attention, Randy. It's all right. Well, this is a long show for me. I decided to do a show at 9 o'clock because I had missed the past couple of weeks. So I figured I would do like a 2-hour show. I'm at the 1 hour and 42-minute mark right now. So, and I figure I'm not going to be doing a show next week unless it's recorded, which I may even do on a specific date. So if you want to call in to be on that show, you let me know one night when you're free. And maybe I can have you call in when I do a recorded show. So it's like a live show, but, you know.
Right.
Because I told... What about Exotica? Yeah.
The next time, I go to Exotica, which I hope will be next year.
It's actually... I know the dates already.
Yeah.
It's November 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Oh, in Edison?
Yeah, in Edison, yep. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Sir Lorenzo said, he goes, oh, it's late, it's in November. I said, it used to be in November, and then they put it to October. Yeah. So, I'm happy it's back in November.
Yeah, I can remember my first Exotica was in November. I think that's the year I met you.
Yeah, I met you in, like, 2012.
Yeah.
So I've known you about 10 years now, almost 11 years, Randy.
Yes.
Because think about it.
Yeah.
I knew you a few years before I did the radio show with Alicia Pleasure.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Because I didn't join the All Pleasure Network, or it was 365 Live, actually, I think before that. And I didn't join that until like 2014. And then 2015, we did the old Pleasure Network, and then it turned into Triple X Porn Star, and then it turned into Cherry Pop, and then it like died after that. So right.
Yeah, it did die.
Right, pretty much it just died after that.
I mean, I just figured when I first called the shows, yours included, I figured it's going to be around for a while.
Right.
Been around for a while, because I mean, your show has the BDSM, you got different variety. You got Alicia's show, got Kelly Payne's show, you got Rita's.
Well, on my show, I have Mistress Black Velvet, who, I don't know, she claims she has problems logging into the software, but yet when she was at Exotica, she somehow made her own page and did a show on there. I don't know what the hell she did, but I don't know. I have to like put TeamViewer in my computer. She's got to put it in hers. I'm going to have to go into her computer and see what the fuck is going on her computer, because she swears she can't log in from the computer. So, you know, I want her to do shows. I mean, her shows are kind of interesting. I mean, she talks a lot about, you know, polyamory, because I think she lives in a polyamorous relationship with herself, her submissive, and some other person. So she talks about, like, rules and things. I guess she's having some problems with the dynamics, and, you know, this is kind of why I'm so glad I'm not living that type of lifestyle any longer. I mean, I still do BDSM stuff, but, you know, I have limits now. I don't really want to involve myself with cross-dressers. I really don't want to involve myself with sissies for pro-dom sessions, because they're fucking, like, needy pains in the asses. They want everything under the sun. They want a top from the bottom. So my new thing is I'm only seeing people for corporal punishment. I have this one guy who's been messaging me on Instagram. I actually know him. I've known him for a couple of years, and he actually trains at the same gym that I used to go to. And because I haven't been to the gym, I let my membership run out. And if I'm going to go again, I'm going to pay $10 a month to go to Planet Fitness near my job. So if I want to go, I can go right after work. No, I'm dead serious. So, you know, and besides, I like to tan over there too. So that it has other benefits for me. My current gym doesn't have that. So I'm kind of like, you know. So anyway, so, you know, I kind of want to do this and I kind of want to do that. And, you know, but I'm not sure if I should go to the gym because I have neck and back pain. So these are other, like, factors of things that I have. But yeah, you know, as far as Rita coming on the network, I'm waiting for her to come on the network. Her show is up. Actually, you know what? I'll let you listen to her intro right now that I made for her. You tell me what you think of this. Me and Sir Lorenzo did a collaboration because he does a lot of radio voiceover stuff. And, you know, remember in the years yonder, I had Mistress Black Velvet's brother Earl. He used to do my radio call letter for my show that I used to have. I think when I was on Triple X, he did the radio call letter. Remember the black guy in the beginning of my show?
Yeah.
That was Mistress Black Velvet's brother, who actually passed away like 4 years ago. So he did that for me, which I still have, and I probably should play here and there. But anyway, me and Sir Lorenzo she wrote the lyrics. I sent it to him. He worked on it. I came up with the music, which I got like royalty-free, like music that she wanted. And I think it is fucking fantastic, and she's going to play it when she does her show. So here it is. You ready?
Okay.
Hold on. Can you hear it?
Unlocking the door of your imagination. You're entering into a new dimension. A dimension of sound, of sight, of mind. You're moving into the land of both pussy and cock, of lube and vibrators. You've just crossed over into the Cougar Zone.
What do you think about that, Randy?
It's original.
It's original, but
like
that's exactly what Rita wanted. So she was very specific about it. I did that all for her. I had Lorenzo send me the MP3 file. I pieced together the music. I found the cougar growling. That's exactly what she wanted. She was very happy about it.
Aww.
So I'm pretty excited and stoked to have her on. Hopefully, she's back to... I know she's been posting a little bit on Instagram, but she said she's been a little rough for her. So, I want her to, do it when she's ready, of course. And, but this way it's all done, all prepared. And I'm looking so forward to being a guest on her show because, she said to me, she goes, Mistress, since I'm doing my show in the Cougar Zone, maybe you and your guy want to come on my show as a guest. So I had spoken to my guy about it, and I think he said he would. We just obviously wouldn't say his name or whatever, but I think he should come on because then he can give his input about why he loves older women as young as he is. So, he's a cougar chaser, apparently.
Of course.
And then, and it's kind of funny. I've been with a lot of different men in my life, and I've never been with a 26, 27-year-old. The youngest I think I ever was with in my life was a 28-year-old at one time, like when I was, 30-something. Way before I was with What's-His-Face. And, I dated a few, I think I was like 32 and I dated a 28-year-old. Maybe another time I think I was 35 and I dated a 28-year-old, 27, but never 26. So this to me, I don't know, was kind of interesting when I found out he was 26. But I went with it because why not? My mom, she was like, more power to you. She goes, I wish I could do that. Then I have this friend, Evelyn, who's like 79 years old, and she looks like she's like 50-something. She gets these fucking guys that are like 30-something to go out with her. She's like 40 years older than them. That's what you call a puma, if you ask me.
Oh.
Right? A puma?
Right. Yeah.
An older woman chasing guys that young? Oh my God. That's beyond cougar. It's funny, I seen my boyfriend's text to one of his friends one day. And his friend goes, oh dude, who's that lady in your photos? He goes, oh, she's my girlfriend. Because he sent it to me to show me something that he sent to his friend, and I saw the whole conversation. And he writes something like, oh, she's like a MILF or a cougar or whatever you want to call her. So his friend goes, dude, he goes, I'm very proud of you. He goes, wow, that's fucking awesome. He was like, yeah, she's into the same stuff I'm into and blah, blah, blah and all, He goes, and she's like very respectful. And he goes, I have better luck with older women and this and that. And so it was pretty cool. But his friend friended me and followed me, so it was pretty nice. So I got to meet some of his friends too. And they all think it's pretty cool that I'm dating like a much younger guy,
Right.
So, I've been meeting, his friends, his family. I'm close with his mother, but his mother doesn't know that I'm a dominatrix. We're not, telling her that. Not sure if she would have a problem with it, but it's not something that you discuss at, a family party or something,
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's something that, he and I know together, and we try to just, So I had to, block her everywhere, on Facebook, on, my Mistress page and the fucking radio show page and the fucking other, I had to do that. I had no choice, But, look, it's all for a good cause. She doesn't need to know that aspect of my life. I'm not dominating Jane. Him and I are not doing that type of stuff. Although I will say, he knows my spanking bench is in my storage unit, right? So the other day he says to me, and this was so out of left field for him. He says to me, he goes, oh, when that spanking bench comes here, he goes, I would love to fuck you on that spanking bench. That's what he says to me. So I said, really? I said, wow. I said, okay, we can definitely try that. I said, I've actually fucked guys with strap-ons on the spanking bench. But I've never been, oh no, that's not true. Actually, that young kid, the one that I had when I had the open relationship with what's-his-face, that young submissive, that other cross-dressing guy I was playing around with, him, I actually screwed him on that bench also. Hey, listen, it's my spanking bench. I might as well use it for my advantage. Yeah, I actually, listen, it's mine, so I do whatever I want with it, but I wasn't restrained. But when it came time for me to fuck him with a strap-on, I restrained him to it, so he couldn't. But now here's my new boyfriend who's not into BDSM but thinks it's hot that his girlfriend's a mistress. Always wants to try to spank me here and there. He's been whacking me pretty hard, I have to say. So I think it's his way of, like, being a little dominant. He knows I like that a little bit. So, but I had said to him, I said, oh, I thought you didn't want to include this in our relationship. He goes, no. He goes, well, I do, but I don't. He goes, I just want to play with you like that every so often. I said, okay, that's fine. So I but you know what's funny? He claims he's not, like, submissive to women, but yet he's so submissive to me, and he doesn't even realize it. It's so funny. Like, the other day I tell him, I said, oh, my back is killing me. Can you rub my back for me? Not even fucking 2 seconds go by, and he's fucking rubbing my neck and my back. I tell him to do something while he's here. He fucking hops, skips, and jumps to do it. I mean, so... You know, a couple of my guy friends met him, and they're like, wow, they're like, that dude's in love with you. Like, I could just see by I said, listen, he is. I'm like, there's no doubt about it. I love him too, so it's a good combination. And it's really funny. I think some of my other friends are kind of like, how could I date somebody so soon after me and what's-his-face? But they don't realize that me and Cupcake... I was not his girlfriend for a year. I was just living in the house. You know, we were not a couple when I was living there. I mean, I was sleeping in a separate bedroom since last November until I moved out. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I slept in a separate bedroom for 9 months. I was not his girlfriend, correct? No. So I was single for a long time, and then I find out from other people that he had women coming and men coming there when I was still living there, but when I was like out or whatever. I mean, I don't care, whatever, but that's what he did. That's why I left him, you know, because he was not good for me. He was garbage, you know, and so, you know, I don't have to worry about that with my new guy because he... From the beginning, told me he wanted monogamy, which made me very happy because that's all I've ever wanted in a relationship. And I don't have anything to argue or fight with him about. There's none of that bullshit. And he's appreciative of things and he understands why I do dom stuff. And you know what? It's pretty cool. I have to say, I kind of lucked out. I got a really good guy, you know? Kind of interesting. So I don't know. So what do you think of all that, Randy? And yeah, and here am I still doing my radio show after all these years. So yeah, exactly. That's what I want to say. But yeah, he knows I do that. He actually listens to the show sometimes. He said some of them are really funny. So
he does listen to your show, right?
Yeah, he does listen to the show. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I listen to the shows you have so far on Spotify.
Yeah.
They're on. Listen to some of your shows. Most of your shows. You can they're on most of your shows on Spotify.
Right. From this show and the old show. I mean, I did try to take a lot of the old stuff down, and I think I probably will. I think I'll archive some of them. Like some of the older episodes on Spreaker, I can put into an archive file, and if people want to go and get them, they could pay to download them. So I have other options to do that, which I may archive some of my older ones with me and Shithead, because some of them are pretty funny, but yet there are some that I have to go through because, people have been telling me that I should really take a lot of those off because he's not really submissive and he kind of like throws off the show. And they tell me that my new show is so much better without him. That I have more like interesting topics to talk about. Nobody is cutting me off or over talking me. I can kind of run the show as much as I want, to do whatever I want, and just kind of not have anyone tell me, oh, I didn't like the topic we were talking about, or you were over talking me. So
like Cupcake. Like
yeah,
Cupcake,
exactly,
right?
exactly, correct, right.
I mean, it's your show, not yours. Cupcake just he's Lou Costello.
No, I know that, but the problem I had with him is that he treated it that the show was his, and he was very like controlling over a lot of things that I was doing, and he just, I don't know, like he a lot of people say the show is better without him, that I don't have the over talkingness, the stress, a lot of different things, that things are much better without him on the show. That's what I've been told. So, I mean, I don't know. I kind of agree with the people because, I do take a criticism about the show. Things people think I should change, and they also said the show is much better without him. So, but yeah, so basically I did 9 months worth of shows on the Whip Appeal show under BDSM Alive Radio Network. I think BDSM Alive Radio show was until I decided to change it back in March, and he had told me I wasn't allowed to do that. And I said, listen, it's my stuff. Like, you don't pay to keep any of this shit alive. Like, I'm the one that does all the ad. Like, I was basically doing everything, but he wanted to say that he owned it because he came up with the name. But you know what's funny, Randy? The name that he came up with was a name that me, Paula, Mistress so-and-so, and this other asshole, who I'm not going to say their names, we're going to do a website together, okay? And me and my submissive and this one friend paid a lot more money than the other two did, and they wanted to own it. I'm sure you know who this is, but I'm not going to say her name on air. And
Right.
The only thing Cupcake came up with was the name, but it was all copyrighted and trademarked under my Mistress Candy stuff. So technically I own it, even though he came up with the fucking name. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So he was telling me, yeah, basically. And he was basically telling me I wasn't allowed to do shows under that name. So I said to myself, you know what? You ain't fucking telling me what I can and can't do. So I continued to do shows under BDSM Alive Radio, and then I changed it to network. So I made it a network. I have my solo show, The Whip Appeal. I'm going to have Rita Daniels coming on doing the Cougar Zone show. And I have Mistress Black Velvet. And I would like other people to join the network, too. I want to try to grow it a little bit, which is kind of interesting,
We say add other people. It's gonna be different topics besides BDSM. Nothing wrong with BDSM.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm going to have other people talk about porn stuff on there and other stuff. I would even get people to do mainstream stuff. But a lot of people don't want to get involved with dirty, kinky stuff. So I don't know. It just depends. So, I mean, the only sponsor I have right now is Spunk Lube, because Adam and Eve is not doing any sponsorship. They haven't sponsored my show in like 2-3 years anyway. But, so, I mean, it was great while it lasted, but, with the economy the way it is, a lot of people don't want to do sponsorships anymore. So, Spunk Lube is cool. They send me product. I go out. I hand out Spunk Lube to people so they like it, try it, buy it, that type of thing. I mean, look, I use it too with my guy, and he likes it. He thinks it's the best lube he's ever used. So, I mean, spunklube.com, that's the sponsor of the show and the network. Check them out. They got great lube, right, Randy?
Yeah, still got some.
Ah, see, you still got some from Exotica. Awesome.
Yeah, I still got it.
Yeah, actually, I gotta
the
email
past.
him and ask him to send me some stuff. And I need a new banner for here too. I don't know where my banner is for the sponsor. Cause I don't know. I might go back to doing like some videos here and there for the show. I'm not sure yet. I'm not 100% sure yet if I want to do that yet. I did try it at one time. It really wasn't. It was unsuccessful because I had somebody trying to, what's his face was posing like a whore, and we were getting kicked off of YouTube all the time. So I mean, like, I have to now. I think I can kind of do it and not worry that I'm going to be kicked off because I'm not posing like nude on camera for like everybody to watch. You know what I mean? So like, I don't have to worry about that. So. I mean, just in general, like, because a lot of, like, submissives on FetLife are like, oh, you look so good now, you should go back to doing some video of your show. I've thought about it. I don't know. I mean, I do little short clips on, like, Instagram and shit or whatever, so I don't know. I mean, that's kind of why I go on cam and work on there,
You said you're on FetLife, right?
I'm on FetLife, yes.
Yeah, good. I'm on FetLife too.
I think I'm friends with you on FetLife, but you can just check or whatever and see. But
yeah.
But anyway, it's oh my goodness, I've been doing a show for 2 hours and 6 minutes and 4 seconds. So I think it's time Mistress says good night. But Randy, I will call you back tomorrow night sometime, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll call you personally, yeah, so. But thanks for calling in. I had 2 great callers. I had Daisy called in and Randy called in. So that was pretty awesome to have live callers call into the Whip Appeal show tonight. It was pretty awesome.
Aww.
So Randy, listen, if I don't talk to you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will announce on Twitter when I'm going to be coming back. I think I'm going to take a couple of weeks off in January and start a new season 2. I think it'll be at the either the end of January or beginning of February for because I'm probably gonna take like a month off from the shows for like the holidays or whatever, So, but yeah, season 2 will be coming out in 2023. So I'm gonna be doing season 2 of the Whip Appeal show. I'm trying to do seasons now, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so like I said, let's not lose touch with each other. You know, you can call me anytime, right?
Yes, I know I can call you anytime. I've been really busy working a lot, though, so that's the other thing. But anyway, so thanks for calling in, Randy, and I will be in touch with you shortly.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for calling in.
All
right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So look at that. We had 2 callers that called into the Whip Appeal show tonight. Pretty interesting. So anyway, I'm going to say goodnight for tonight. But next week I won't be live. I'll be away. I'll be out of town. So I may try to do a recorded show for next week. But thanks for listening to the Whip Appeal show on the BDSM Alive Radio Network, hosted by MistressCandy69. And I hope you enjoyed listening to the show. And have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I, don't do it next week. And see you all in 2023 with a brand new season. So thanks for listening and have a great evening. Goodbye.